Welcome to Coal Nation, the official podcast of the American Coal Council. Join us as we dive into the critical conversations shaping the future of coal. From industry experts to policymakers, we're exploring coal's essential role in America's energy, economy, and global trade. Whether it's powering communities, driving innovation, or securing strong global economies, coal is at the heart of it all. ACC, proud to be American, proud to be coal. Coal Nation starts now.
Hi, I'm Emily Arthun with the American Coal Council, and you're listening to Coal Nation, the coal podcast for the American Coal Council. I'm excited to be here today with Fran Taglia at Bluegrass Natural Resources in Benham, Kentucky. We've spent the last day and a half touring around, seeing everything, and I'm so excited for you to tell the story of Bluegrass and being here in Kentucky.
Well, I'm so grateful you came to visit us here. It's been a really fun couple of days.
It has.
We've been busy.
We have been busy.
Dragged you around a couple of spots. And
I mean, we have been to a country club. We have been to the prep plant, the impoundment.
We're about to go underground. In fact, we got to keep this tight. We got to be underground in 30 minutes.
That's right. So we got to move on. So tell me about Bluegrass Natural Resources and kind of the history. It's a short history, but tell me about it. Yeah.
Well, the history of bluegrass is like a drop in the bucket when you think about the history of like this property and this region of the country, where for 150 years we've been pouring out coal. We're in southeastern Kentucky. We're in Harlan County, which is home historically to many, many mines. Formerly, in fact, entire towns in this area were built by U.S. Steel, International Harvester, and have come through the ranks of Arch Coal, Alpha, Massey for a short period of time, the Black Mountain Resources. And then over time, and as the industry struggled, sort of the production profile has shrunk in this region. We used to produce a lot of thermal coal out of Harlan County. Now, most of the coal produced is met quality coal. So Bluegrass formed out of the bankruptcy of a predecessor company, and for the last 2.5 years has been reinvesting in the business, recapitalizing equipment, infrastructure, changing all of our systems, people. It's been an amazing kind of crazy sprint for the last 2.5 years, but building production back up, focusing on our safety record and hiring practices. And we're a different company than we were 2.5 years ago, for sure.
Absolutely. And what we've heard in the community is just how grateful they are for Bluegrass. Like, you guys came in during the bankruptcy, you had a conversation with all these miners saying, this is what we're doing, it's going to be rough. And what I've heard out in the field with the people is they're so happy Bluegrass is here. You followed through on all of your promises to them. But not only that, like, you are invested in the community. I mean, this office that we're sitting in right now used to be a school that you guys have came in and completely redone. Yeah,
that's right. In fact, it was during the bankruptcy, we came to realize that the company actually owned the property that we're sitting on today. It's the former East Benham High School, and it was a bit of a disaster when we found it, probably vacant for over 10 years, trees growing out of the windows. And we centralized our entire operational office here now, and it's all within 20 minutes of all of the mining operations, the prep plant, super convenient right here where we are.
We talked a little bit about the importance of it being centralized, like moving people to the central office, and how that's creating a lot of communication within your teams. Can you talk about how important that is?
Yeah, well, I'm sort of a broken record when it comes to communication and the importance of it. But historically, we would have our preparation plant people would be in an office at the plant. Our mine operations guys would be in a mine operations office or at the mines. Safety was somewhere else. HR was somewhere else in another state even. After we finished rehabbing this building and moving our center of operations here, we've got everyone under the same roof. So they share an air fryer. That's the way I think about it is, you put an air fryer in a building and you get people talking.
I love that. It used to be a water cooler. Now it's
it's an air fryer.
It's an air fryer. Well, and this has been such a fun tour because we got to go to an MSHA competition this morning. And for me, I got to see more than just Bluegrass, right? There was Warrior and Alliance was there and Iron Synergy. So it's fun to see everybody in one place collectively doing something for the betterment of business, right? Talk a little bit about how that made you feel to see those guys on the field.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a mine rescue team is sort of like a badge of honor or a source of pride for a lot of mining companies. And it's also a demonstration of not just the commitment to safety, obviously, but commitment to like continuing to get better and learning and investing in your people. And these competitions are just a great way to recognize all that hard work. It's expensive to train a team, keep them equipped, make time for them to do these competitions, send them on these competitions. It's an investment, but I think it's one that the more serious you are as a company, like the more serious you take safety. And I think it's the sort of putting our mine rescue teams on a pedestal is where they deserve to be.
Oh, I think so. And I mean, they're in conditions today. It's warm here, it's humid, and
Yeah.
they're fully geared up out in the sun.
Oh yeah, no, I'm convinced doing what they're doing today would be easier if they were actually underground.
I think you're absolutely right. So I really love this. I love what we found in the community. I love the commitment of your employees. Like they're all, and we've had some great interviews with some other employees. They've been here forever, right? Like they started.
I mean, there's people working on this property that have been here for over 30 years.
Yeah. And so they know the insides and the outs, and just they're very complimentary of what's going on here. So I think that's a testament to what you guys are building in Harlan County.
It's sort of a joke, but I think it's indicative of the change and transition this industry's gone through. But people here would tell you they used to put their company logos on their coveralls with Velcro because you wait long enough and you just have to switch it out for another company that comes in. And that's been the sort of volatile, that actually is a great representation of how the volatility makes its way down to an individual mine. We talk about coal demand in this country decreasing by 50% over the last 10, 12 years. Well, that means mines have closed. Companies have changed hands. There is movement in the industry and these guys feel it, something as silly as changing the name of your company, but that probably means you got sold. You went through a bankruptcy. You've got new management. You've got everything changes. So it's a lot to ask people to get on board with a change in culture, a change in, when Bluegrass started. So Bluegrass is owned by Javelin Global Commodities, which is a commodities trader based in London. They've come in with an investment theory on, we need to capitalize this business, put it in working order so that effectively we can spend money so we can produce at a lower cost, right? If we buy better equipment, we install better infrastructure, at the end of the day, what does that do? It allows us to produce with higher availability, greater productivity rates, and that reduces your cost. And this business is how do you survive? You have to have low cost.
Slim margins.
Exactly right. So it's a game of pennies and you sometimes have to spend a penny to make a dime.
Well, and you were showing me last night on one of the walls in the office here, your maintenance manager, GM, superintendent, his from 2024 forward and how his goals, and every month he's got how the percentage has gone up.
Yeah. So when this company first came out of the bankruptcy and started as Bluegrass, our mine availability. So this isn't just mechanical availability. This is how many minutes of the day is the mine producing when it's supposed to, was roughly 70%. And in the first 6 months of Bluegrass, that number got up to 85%. And we haven't fallen below, about 90% in the last year and a half. So that is equipment.
Yep.
It's training. It's people. Honestly, people is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about turnover a lot, but the higher your turnover is. So in other words, the more new people you have on a mine section every day, it's tougher to be productive. It's way harder to be safe. I mean, low turnover and safety are directly correlated.
Yep.
And then, of course, the equipment better. You've been working on it for longer. If you're here for longer, the pieces of equipment better. So everything just gets better when you focus on how do we reduce turnover? And that's building culture, convincing people you mean what you say and you're going to do what you say, and building that trust with everyone.
Yeah. You have a family picnic coming up in September and you've got sign-up sheets. And I was looking at the sign-up sheets. People are signing up. And it's not just one or two. It's not like me, my wife, and maybe my kids. I saw one yesterday that was bringing 7 additional people to your. It's got to be a big event.
It's awesome. When we first started as Bluegrass, we were doing a company outing at Dollywood every year, which was an amazing treat. Just really fun experience. But we finished this office the beginning of last year. And so we were able to have our picnic here, and we had a petting zoo for the kids and slides, and it rained cats and dogs that day, the entire day. But I'm telling you, everyone walked out of there with smiles from ear to ear. And this is another thing, when I talk about culture and how important it is, it's not just our employees, it's our vendors as well. Vendor support and vendor commitment is so important to things like availability, talking about keeping a mine running. Well, if you have a vendor that could support you and have spare equipment to you when you need it, your downtime can be reduced because you're not waiting for that component. Anyway, vendors come to our company picnic and bring their families. They donate prizes. Last year was the sweetest thing, but literally every kid that came to our picnic last year left with a prize that was either donated by our vendor or something we had put together. It was so cool.
That's cool. We talked a little bit about this was thermal coal country for a long time, right? We powered America with thermal coal. And something that we don't spend a lot of time talking about is metallurgical coal. That's what you're mining now. Can you talk high level technical about how you got to the met coal and what happened here? And then where's your met coal going? What's it been used for?
So like I said, this region's been mined for over 100 years. So what was mined 100 years ago was the thickest coal, which was thermal coal. So it was used domestically for power production. In fact, we've got a lot of drill hole data and we're mining in a mountain. So all of our seams are stacked on top of each other. We've got mines above us, mines below us. So we're mining in between and around old mines. It's actually one of the most geotechnically complex areas of mining in the country, probably. But in any case, a lot of drill holes that come to our property that sort of just pass through the coal seams we're mining to get to measure and test quality on some of the thicker thermal coal seams. So these were, because they were thin, they were more expensive. They wouldn't consider them for thermal coal production 50 years ago, but they have great met characteristics. So what we're doing now is coming back and mining the things that got left behind. And we produce a high vol B and a PCI quality coal here. So that's all used in steel production. So we've got a number of domestic steel producers that we sell to. And then, of course, with Javelin's relationship and their expertise in the international trading markets, we export a portion of our coal as well. So they help manage all that. I mean, it's going everywhere from India to Asia and South America. Yeah.
So I'm going to switch gears a little bit, because more near and dear to my heart is you're the ACC president this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been on the executive team. And I want to talk about why the ACC, you've been part of this group for a long time. Why is the ACC important to you? And what's something, I mean, you're president, you stepped up to the plate to become president. Why? How cool is that?
Yeah. My love for the American Coal Council is the role it plays in advocacy and putting our message out there as an industry that matters. And being here as a president of Bluegrass Natural Resources, working with 450 people for whom it definitely matters. Yeah. I think it's just so important that that message is heard. People understand what it takes to mine coal, the importance of it in our economy, the importance of it in the global economy. I just think when you get to, we were sort of talking earlier about how lots of times coal miners, they're underground every day, they're mining coal. They're not connected to the supply chain of, whether it's thermal production or the steel industry. They're not connected to these things as much as you and I see sitting out here. And so I think for me, the American Coal Council is not just about educating people that don't know anything about coal. It's also an amazing way to demonstrate to our miners the value of the work they're doing. So I think it's super, super cool. And I'm excited about what we're doing here this week.
So we'll talk about that for a second. The American Coal Council has increased its advocacy and definitely our social presence, Coal Nation podcast and different things. But this week, we as a board had said we're going to invest some time and money into getting a good story about coal. It's 250 years celebrating America. And thanks to Bluegrass, you helped sponsor the making of a video, which will be out soon.
Stay tuned.
But that's why we're here this week. Is we have a video crew capturing moments at Bluegrass with employees, with the property. They've been underground. It truly means so much that you and Bluegrass and Javelin stepped up and said, hey, we want to help sponsor this because what we're making is going to be truly incredible. And so talk a little bit to me about why you said this is important to do and maybe something you've learned while we've been kind of following the film crew around.
Well, I'll tell you, to make a 30-second ad, 2 days of filming, 10 guys running around with cameras and microphones.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the production of it is just like wild to see what goes into putting together like a high quality video like that. It's not some guy walking around with an iPhone. This is
legit.
This is the real deal.
I'm glad I got the opportunity because I had no idea this is what it was going to look like.
Obviously the final product will be something that I think will demonstrate the heritage and the pride and the importance of the coal industry. But like for me personally and for Bluegrass, it's also like the process of making it has been a great way to demonstrate to our, we've been running around this property for the last 2 days with, crews of, camera crews. It's actually a great way to demonstrate to like our staff here. Like, this is something we're so proud of. Look at this, like, look what we're doing here. And so it's been really cool, and everyone's been so, excited about it and willing to help.
And I don't think people understand, like, when they show up, things kind of stop at work. So this is, I mean, as far as production, I mean, you're mining and production is important, but they've all taken great pride in helping and assisting and getting it done.
Yeah. Honestly, if I knew how big of an impact it would have, I might have thought twice about agreeing to it.
No, don't say that. We're not the people to do this.
No, it worked great. It was easy. In and out.
In and out. And we had great vendors too that you had reached out to that helped us do this. And so I'm excited to see the results for them too.
Yeah. I think it's just I keep using the word pride, but there's so much pride in what we do here, whether you're a coal miner, vendor support, services, our regulators. I mean, everyone is just really, really proud of what we do.
Yeah. I mean,
this industry.
It goes back to proud to be American, proud to be coal.
And you nailed it.
I mean, that's simply what it is. I mean, this is American coal right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fran, I really appreciate the fact that we got to sit down and do this podcast. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with?
I think come on in, Jeremy.
Come on in.
I think the thing I would just leave with is it's hard work, but it's work that a lot of people have done for generations. And I think it's a lot of work that people are proud of. Yeah. But also I think in the last few years and months, there's been a lot of excitement around the industry and people feel it. And I think that's important. And I think we need to, maintain that momentum and stay strong.
I couldn't say it better. Stay strong, believe in us, and spread the message.
Yeah. All right. We got to go underground.
All right. So we're going underground. It's been great having Fran on Coal Nation today. Bluegrass Natural Resources, thank you so much for your support of the American Coal Council. And stay tuned for the next episode of Coal Nation.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you for tuning in to Coal Nation, the official podcast of the American Coal Council. Our mission is to share coal's story and showcase its critical role in powering our economy and supporting our way of life. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe. The American Coal Council represents members across the entire coal supply chain and advocates tirelessly for our vital industry. There is strength in numbers, and we'd love for you to be part of the conversation. By joining ACC, you gain exclusive access to the latest industry developments, a voice in our work that can benefit your business, and incredible networking opportunities. To learn more, visit www.americancoalcouncil.org. Together, we are shaping the future of coal, and it's exciting. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.